Welcome to Proposal Bites, a series of short discussions on the key issues facing legal services providers when proposing for new business. My name is Sylvia Hodges-Silverstein. I'm the Executive Director of the Buying Legal Counsel. I'm speaking with John de Forte, author of Winning Proposals, the Essential Guide for Law Firms. Hello, John. I want to look at the topic of writing about the client in proposals. John, I know you have challenged this idea that to get a good score in a tender evaluation, you just need to write about the client. Why is that?
Well, I think this is just one of those things that everyone takes for granted. I think every consultant would always advise people who are involved in writing bids to always think about the client, be focused on the client. Everyone in this field will have heard that phrase a million times. And of course, it does contain a lot of truth. When we write a proposal, we should be very much focused on the issues facing that particular organization. But I feel it's worth making the point that in order to produce a really persuasive argument in the context of a tender, you've not only got to focus on the client, but also provide solutions which are tailored to that particular client as well. And in fact, if we just talk about the client, that doesn't really get the job done. So it seemed to me that was a point that was worth challenging, really.
So writing about the client is important, but it's not enough on its own. Can you explain that in more detail, please?
Yes, I would say that it depends a bit on the sort of area that the buyer is exploring. But generally speaking, in order to create a persuasive argument, I think the authors need really to touch four essential bases. They need to identify, first of all, the issue that is facing the client, what is of concern to them, and to explain the significance of that issue. And secondly, they need to put forward a solution. In other words, what the firm is going to do in order to meet that issue and deal with it. Thirdly, which is different, they need to articulate what benefits the client will gain if they adopt that solution. And finally, they need to provide evidence that they are the right people to put that solution into practice. And most of the time, a persuasive argument will always contain those four elements. People involved in writing proposals should aim to cover those four bases wherever possible.
Well, thank you, John. This was very interesting. This theme is explored in more detail in John's new book, Winning Proposals, the Essential Guide for Law Firms and Legal Service Providers. It's published by the Buying Legal Counsel, and you can get copies through Amazon.com or Amazon.co.uk. Thank you very much for listening to us.